I don't know. Is there a safe way to do that? I don't know. That seems
Right.
unsafe and inflammatory. That seems like an infection risk there, but
Good point. Yeah.
I don't know. I have concerns, and I'm not gonna deal with it. Like let the Shiza folk
For sure.
deal with
Let
deal
them
with
have
it
their
on
own
their own.
bathrooms. I mean, what do you think
Yeah.
would possess somebody to want to get defecated on? Do you think it comes from trauma or like a genuine appreciation of fecal matter? Like, how is
God.
that
Okay.
sexy?
I don't know. I have a couple of theories to work on, and like
Well, hello, and good existence to everyone out there in this ever expanding universe. You have been fortunate enough to be chosen to participate in this new Millennium's punk rock based podcast. Let's ruin our lives. Together, we will discuss very important issues such as music, comedy, pain, spiritual extortion, the importance of kindness and of love, freedom through ritual ecstasy, and the completely unbearable weight of authoritarian compliance. Please enjoy your show, subscribe, like, and comment below, and always remember that William Blake said, "I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's." Now have a good life. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. I must create a system or be enslaved by another man's. Let's ruin our lives.
Getting pissed at high tides, chewing up like cyanide. Please don't revive. Let's ruin our lives. Some pills and acid, nails in my casket. That sounds romantic. To just ruin our lives.
それじゃあビデオ見てもらいます寝んなよ
Good morning, everybody. This is Let's Ruin Our Lives. The name is ironic. I am your host, Joshua Hensley, in a bedroom here in Phoenix, Arizona. Joining me today, yet another wonderful person from the Holy Land of Utah. I have the effervescent Mike Sherman of the Oh Crap podcast.
that's me.
That's
That's my
you.
name, and that's my podcast.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for
Oh
having me.
Crap podcast.
Yeah.
Can you describe briefly the format of the show?
Yeah. Well, first, I'm gonna do just a little bit of backpedaling to clarify that, like, yeah, we're called Oh Crap, and we have our subtitle, and that's an important subtitle there because, believe it or not, that term "Oh Crap" is actually fairly common in the
Oh,
podcast sphere. So yeah, so Oh Crap, full title, our fecal misfortunes and foibles.
okay.
And that was necessary because, like, when we were starting out and we landed on that name, we find out that a few other podcasts, one of the more prominent ones was a potty training one,
Okay.
has shares a similar name, and it's like we have to distinguish ourselves somehow. I don't want to
Right.
start a beef.
Nice.
And so the basic format is here's the elevator pitch. It's just this: people come on and they share their funny, embarrassing, disgusting, otherwise noteworthy poop stories.
Okay.
That's it. I know some people have like a shtick where they're like, "Oh, we get drunk and then we watch like
Right.
reruns of Frasier or something,"
Right.
and it's like, no, it's just that we interview people for their poop stories. That's it. It's the funniest fucking thing we've ever done,
Nice.
and we're overjoyed with it.
Nice. Awesome. And it's you and your wife?
And my wife, yeah.
Nice. Awesome. What was the inspiration between wanting to talk about poop?
Just that somehow, usually, especially if you get like at least like two or three members of my family together, at some point it usually ends up devolving into people sharing their poop stories, sharing other people's poop stories, trying to one up, being like, "Well, this was a funnier one," and and usually when that comes up, if we're around some other group of friends, they're like, "Oh hell yeah, wait, I got one too," and it just ended up being funny. And at some point, I think one of us mentioned we should be recording this, shouldn't we? And
Okay.
then after a while of like finally getting the motivation together to do it, we finally made a go of it, and every time we find out about it, there's either one of three responses: either "Ew, that's gross, why would you do that?" Two, "Hey, that's genius, how did I not think of that?" Or
Hmm.
three, That's gross, but best of luck to you. Which is kind of just a subset of the first one. But some people are put off and are like, you shouldn't do that. That's deviant. That's disgusting. But others are like, I don't have the stomach, but Godspeed.
Okay. Well, I mean, everybody poops.
Yeah.
Where do you think that scatological humor comes from, in your family?
I don't know. I mean, I'd say that
Were there
like
like a
and when
lot of babies at all times?
I don't know about a lot. Like I'd say that I'd say a part of it probably comes from the fact that when I think of my family, my extended family,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much closer to my father's side than my mother's,
Mm-hmm.
and on that side, and my father grew up in Missouri, and I think being and I'm not being insulting when I say this, being a bunch of admitted country bumpkins that don't
Sure.
have a whole lot to do, they tend to be a little more down to earth with stuff and trying to find something to do to keep themselves entertained. And sometimes that comes down to, you know, having accidents with poop and then learning to laugh with it.
Sure. Okay. So, is there a history of like being able to determine an animal's poop out in the wild?
Not that I'm very much a homebody, so I don't
Yeah.
know. Somebody can maybe like I've come to learn like just because we have a lot of deer in our part of where we're living right now,
Mm-hmm.
I've
Oh,
can locate deer poop like a son of a bitch.
yeah.
It's a bunch of dried up milk duds basically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. They call that scat, right?
I guess I,
Something like that. Yeah.
I'm not as I hope you're not like hoping I can like be really scientifically minded about this. That's not scientific in my background.
Okay.
My professional background, actually both my wife and I were both mental health therapists.
Oh, cool.
So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm taking
So
psychology right now. So,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a connection between I don't know mental wellness and uh, liking to laugh at poop or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe we are that Venn diagram. I don't know. More research is necessary, I guess.
Do you believe that the sense of humor in general is a coping mechanism, or is it more just like the enjoyment of life?
Probably in my case, both. I
Mm-hmm.
would say
For sure.
absolutely. I mean, like it is funny because sometimes people are like, again, some of those may ask, well, again, why this? What makes it so
Mm-hmm.
funny? And it like sometimes it just is.
Sure. Yeah.
Our bodies have functions and misfunctions, and sometimes it just helps to find the humor in that. And I often will cite, the our intro song. We have in our intro song, I have a very quick little clip of Danny DeVito's Frank Reynolds character
Oh, yes.
saying because poop is funny. You know,
Right.
if anyone knows that episode, they're like, "Why were you doing all this? Like, why were you pulling pranks, leaving poops everywhere?" And his response is, "Because poop is funny." And everyone just kind of relents and says, hey, "Yeah, he's got a point there." So it's kind of self-evident. But anyway, back to your
Right.
one question about the humor thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I think it's finding the humor where you can. And some people even actually legitimately thank us for breaking down taboos with
Right.
it, which is funny because like I once looked this up because I was trying to find our URL, and like the Google AI garbage overview said,
Yeah.
oh crap, our fecal misfortunes and foibles is a humor podcast, but it's also trying to break down taboos, and it's like, when did we ever say that? We never said that. Everyone else has said that about us.
That's
But
interesting. Yeah.
and then on the trauma side of things, like most therapists, I'm what we refer to as a wounded healer, meaning someone who's been traumatized and then feels drawn to the position. And my trauma in particular pretty much all stems down to my mother
Mm-hmm.
getting getting diagnosed with brain cancer when I was around 9 or
Oh,
10,
man. Yeah.
and the prognosis was 2 years, but she ended up surviving about 11 years. But it really wasn't a pleasant 11 years. So
Right.
my entire adolescence, basically having an invalid parent who couldn't be the
Mm-hmm.
mom she needed to be through no fault of her own, and
Right.
just learning to just deal with that and ride through that desensitized pain as best as possible. And
Sure.
yeah, it really puts a person up. So
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, and that must have been very difficult to deal with.
yeah,
Um,
thanks.
but I think it's very healthy to find solace in the humor, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
if you can't laugh at the darkness, then it kind of wins, in my opinion. Um,
yeah.
okay, what can you tell me about poop that I might not know?
Okay. I mean, you mentioned animal poop, or let's
Or
see.
what have
Uh,
you like learned from doing the podcast about people's experiences with poop or their
okay.
general feeling towards it?
Like they meaning who? Like the guests in general, or the general? I mean, I would say if we had to guess, like from the general public,
Hmm.
because we've done like a couple local expos and conventions,
Yeah.
like like pop
Cool.
culture ones and video game ones, and
Nice.
not everyone is willing to share it. But
Right.
like I would say, I don't know. I'd say that like I think most people can be kind of put into thirds. You got a third that are all about it and eager.
Hmm.
You even get people coming up saying like, "I've got a story to share, but it would get me in trouble, so I won't share it." And then we get people who just turn their nose to it, and then we get other people who, um, I guess, are just kind of indifferent to it. So like, I
Right.
don't know, like, but like, because like you said, everyone does it. We all do it, so it seems weird to just.
Right. Pretend like it doesn't
Yeah.
exist. Yeah.
At the same time, a part of me kind of still wants the taboo to be there because I do
Hmm.
have fun challenging the social contract in that way.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right.
There can be humor in that is what I'm saying.
Hmm. For sure. Um, have you come across anybody that seemed to have like an over enjoyment of poop?
Not that I personally encountered, but also to go back to the one question you were asking about, what's something that you didn't know?
Yeah.
We have an episode, one of our earlier episodes, we interviewed a retired paramedic,
Okay.
and I actually she shared. Okay, so we ended up splitting her episode into two halves.
Mm.
One when it was all enjoyment, and then the second one I wasn't sure how to handle this because it was so disgusting and so harrowing. It wasn't
Oh.
even funny because it was from her
Yeah.
profession. Because like, she shared her personal stories and then she shared some stuff from her professional time. And that one I actually like put a little disclaimer saying, skip like 12, 13 minutes if you don't want to hear this because it's
Oh
like
wow.
actually. And she basically, I guess, minor spoilers, and anyone who wants to not hear what I'm going to say, skip 30 seconds or so. But this old woman had died, and apparently, like, had been so backed up that it was literally coming out of her mouth and
Oh my
like and
God.
she had a paramedic partner there who was doing his damnedest to do CPR on her, and every time he was doing it feces was coming out of her mouth.
Wow.
Yeah. And that, yeah, oh, I'm getting goosebumps even thinking about it. And
Yeah.
it's like yeah, and it's like damn, we didn't expect it to get that real.
Right.
And I really actually had to think about it because like I said, that was kind of in the earlier days of our cast, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do with this? We're trying to be a humor podcast,
Right.
but that story felt so important. Like I could tell it took a lot out of her to share it.
Hmm.
She was getting choked up, and I really felt like it deserved to be heard.
Right. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and like and
Wow.
on a somewhat like humorous note with that, I even make this comment in the thing where I'm like, the idea of somebody like spewing it up when they're getting CPR seems like something out of like a Rick and Morty episode or
Right.
something.
Yeah. Or like a trauma movie or something.
Something like that, yeah. Like it just seems so unreal. So there's a fact that
That's
that
that's a
yeah.
good one. I didn't know the human body could do that.
Yeah, I guess when it's really cornered, so to speak.
Wow. That's gnarly. Okay. um,
Yeah.
toilet paper or baby wipes? Preference.
Bidet.
Oh, there you go. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Bidet, yeah. What if I just answered nope?
All right, moving on.
Let you take care of that. No, on that note though,
Yeah.
no, I'm very much an anti-baby wipes person. Like I don't care for toilet paper, but I get it, it's necessary. But baby wipes, come on.
Right.
Like I've I've spoken to enough plumbers and civil
Hmm.
engineers that no, like fuck off with your baby wipe nonsense.
Oh, okay. Because
Knock
of
it
the
off.
damage they do to like septic tanks and all that.
Absolutely, and sewers and whatnot. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not. They'll say they're flushable, but like technically, a toothbrush is also flushable. I've seen
Right.
it. My boy, who's 14 now, did it when he was 2. It's
Yeah.
technically flushable. He
For
was
sure.
curious. I'm not going to hold it against him, but
For-
like, but they're not designed to tear apart the way toilet paper does.
Sure.
So,
True. True.
not, so
They also dry out the skin and can cause hemorrhoids.
I was not aware of that,
Yeah.
but I'll believe it.
I looked it up. Yeah. Yeah. My son's autistic, so he's still not potty trained. So my life is all
Okay.
baby wipes, and I had to figure out like how to dispose of them the right way. And it's
Mm,
even like the flushable kind. It's they say don't do it, but
yeah.
okay. Poop knives. That's a real thing.
Apparently, like from what I can tell, it all started from some Reddit story where this guy talked about Like, are you not? Are you? I guess what I'm curious where you're coming at with this.
I've heard a comic talk about it, that he needs a poop knives for his son's poops because they're so big they just won't flush. And then I saw the second reference I saw was with the episode with Pinky on your podcast, where on the description on Instagram, where
Oh, sharpening his poop. Yeah, yeah, it was kind of like a
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like get ready to stab people. Anyway, so yeah, so from my understanding, it started with a Reddit post where some guy like in his family they had a poop knife, and I think it was like just like I think it was just like on a hook on the wall somewhere that they
yeah.
used to cut up their turds whenever they had massive turds, and apparently he was shitting quite a massive one at a friend's house, and then like stuck his head out the door and was like,
Mm,
"Hey, dude, where's your poop knife?"
I've heard that. Yeah,
And
that's right.
and everyone else is just like the what?
Right. Is
Yeah,
I mean, is that like a regional thing?
I have no idea. Like this guy clearly. I mean, I think it's fair to say that like so many of us have weird family quirks that
Right.
just seem normal, and then come to find out, oh wait, like not everyone's like that. Like
Right.
I can't think of one off right off the top of my head, but like I know one thing that definitely frequently like I can't think of any one specific incident, but I just know that like
Mm,
over the course of my grade school years, having been raised LDS in New England
mm. Oh,
certainly had me see things weird where it's like, oh wait, your mom swears?
right.
What? People
Yeah.
can do that? You know?
Okay. Was it a pretty strict religious upbringing, if you don't mind me asking? I'm always
No, it's
interested
fine.
in that.
No, you can ask away.
Okay.
It's because I no longer practice anyway,
Sure. Yeah.
but yeah, I not compared to some,
Right.
and people even kind of point that out because like those that tend to be raised as such outside of Utah, Idaho, and Arizona,
Hmm.
like they definitely kind of have tend to seem just more aware
Right.
of the world around them. Yes, like gay people exist, and
Right.
fry sauce isn't everywhere.
Hmm.
You know,
Fire
like
sauce.
because fry sauce. Because I hear about how like when people leave Utah, they're like asking Wendy's, "Hey, where's your fry sauce?" And they're like, "I don't know what the hell you're asking about.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
what
what
that is.
fries."
What's fry sauce?
Oh, it's a big. Oh, it's big in Utah. It's basically just mayonnaise and ketchup put together,
Oh,
and
delicious.
you can get it. You can get it. It's pretty tasty,
Yeah.
but I still find it funny that like it's so overrated. I think like not
Yeah.
overrated, but like they make such a
Right.
weird deal about it because like when I did, again, having been raised LDS, I did the Mormon mission thing, and I
Mm.
served in Mexico.
Oh wow.
I couldn't access Mountain Dew. There was nowhere to get Mountain Dew. So while I'm crying about like I literally had dreams that I found Mountain Dew in the convenience stores, but there was none to be found anywhere on the entire peninsula I served on. Meanwhile, these guys are griping about I miss fry sauce. Buddy, you can buy ketchup and you can buy mayonnaise and you
Right.
can mix it together. I can't make homemade Mountain Dew, so shut the hell up, man.
So funny. I love Mountain Dew. Probably my favorite soda, or second favorite next to root beer. Uh,
Yeah.
what did
But
Were you in Baja, California, when you served?
Yucatan.
Oh, okay. Did you
Yeah.
gather any poop stories from there?
Yeah, I guess you have to listen to the first episode for that.
Oh, okay, for sure.
Yeah, everyone did. It was very much a rite of passage,
Hmm.
kind
Yeah,
of.
I bet. How long were you there
Yeah.
for?
The standard 2 years.
Oh, 2 years is the standard. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow, interesting. I always I find religion fascinating, and I didn't grow up religious, but I've become like spiritual or whatever as an
Sure.
adult. So it's always interesting to me, people's upbringing there. But moving
Yeah.
on, your favorite piece of feces related media, like TV
You,
show, movie, song,
besides my podcast,
aside from your podcast, of course. Everybody,
aside,
please subscribe to Oh Crap.
yeah, it's the one with the cutesy cartoon toilet. If you're looking
Yes,
for it,
I
yeah,
really like the zombie one you guys did for Halloween.
yeah, that dude's awesome. Yeah,
Hmm.
we were supposed to interview him, but I banged up my ribs go karting,
Oh
and it
no.
literally hurt. It literally hurt to sneeze and laugh and fart, so
Yep.
we
Yep.
couldn't do it. So we pushed it out. But
I
we'll get him
understand.
on sometime later. We're in talks.
For sure.
Very talented dude. But yeah, favorite piece of media. I don't know if I have any one singular piece of favorite media. I was even
Hmm.
asking my wife about this. Like, do we have like a favorite thing? And after a beat, she thought about it and said probably the poop episodes of like most of our favorite shows. Like I kind of hinted at like the Always Sunny episode, or like
Right.
there's a handful of Bob's Burgers episodes that
Oh, okay.
deal with poop, like the Mad Pooper episode, or like the cow that was pooping messages or whatever.
Okay,
So
yeah. Do you remember the Austin Powers scene where the Irish guy is trying to kill him in the stall, and he's who does number two work for?
He had awesome powers. I didn't even think about that. I thought about
Yeah.
the sequel where he was like brewing a thing of shit, and he thought it
Oh,
was coffee.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. I
Yeah.
have to skip over Fat Bastard whenever he comes on. It's just such a grotesque character. Like
I just need to. I haven't seen any of those in decades at this point. I need to see if they still hold up. I have
they do.
zero idea.
The first two definitely hold up. I can guarantee
Do
you
they?
that. They are
Okay.
hilarious. Just nonstop jokes. The wit is there, and fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
Sure.
it's funny. One of the disclaimers on, I guess it was Netflix or something, is nudity for the first one because you can see his ass from the back.
Oh yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
when he gets unthawed. Okay, what? So obviously, I wrote a bunch of poop related stuff.
Fair. Yeah. No, you
Okay.
did your homework. I respect that.
Okay, I want to know a little bit more about poop knives. So, it's do they
I
then
told you
wash?
everything I know.
Do they wash the knife after, or just rinse it off? Is it just always there?
My understanding is that it is always there.
Yeah,
I would hope that they at least rinse it or something.
right.
Maybe like a once a week disinfecting at the least. I'm thinking. I'm not saying this is what proper poop knife etiquette is. I'm telling you my best guess about
Right.
not about what the likely maintenance of such a thing is. Because let's just say if I had one, yeah, I'd take care of it.
For sure.
Like I clean it. I don't know if I don't know if I'd literally sharpen it though, because like,
Right.
damn, I'm really overthinking this because I probably want it a little dull.
Right.
Because I don't want to cut into the porcelain or
True.
whatever.
True. Yeah. Okay. Have
Maybe
you
a spoon is more appropriate. I don't know.
No, that makes sense. You want it more blunt. Also, I would think just to break it up easier, right? I mean,
Yeah. Like a poop potato masher, maybe.
yeah, there you go. Do you have a background in comedy?
I dabble in some like amateur like stand up around the area here.
Oh, okay. Nice. Oh, so you're not like,
uh,
do you do like open mics or?
yeah, where I can, where I got the time, where
Okay.
when I got the energy and the spoons to do it. Sure.
Sure, that's cool. So, but you're not like trying to like pursue it professionally?
Nah.
Okay, that's cool. Who's your favorite stand-up?
I'd have to say, let's see. If I have any one that I like, that I definitely I like his stuff now, and I very much liked it when I was growing up. Was I think Mike Birbiglia. Is,
Oh, okay, nice.
is
Nobody
very,
has
very
said
much up
him.
there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I just like. I definitely tend to gravitate more towards people who can like uh, awkwardly take a situation, make it even more awkward, poke fun of themselves while they're
Yeah,
at it.
for
You
sure.
know.
Yeah, yeah. The self not defecating, not defecating.
You had to say it with me as a guest. You
I
had to say
know.
it. I get it.
Okay, I've never asked anybody this question. Do you have a preference for East Coast or West Coast style comedy, or do you see a difference?
Um,
He's East Coast,
I
right,
don't.
Mike Birbiglia?
Yeah, yeah. He's from Massachusetts somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know if I've really stopped to like see if there's a difference, but I
Mm,
mean, I guess like, yeah, as you mentioned, like I'm currently here in Utah, but I grew up in Massachusetts, so
right.
and since moving here, it's really lost the luster that it had, and I'm
Yeah,
very much homesick at this point.
for sure.
So call it bias, but it's going to be hard not to lean towards East Coast.
For sure. I mean, I'm from LA, but I prefer East Coast style comedy. It just seems more
Mhm.
like um, less of an act and more like old school style comedy, if that makes sense. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, I don't mean like an act as in like a put on. I mean like they're like acting out their jokes, whereas the East Coast is more like punches. You know what I mean?
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That
Um,
I think that makes sense because I can tell that like doing it around here,
mhm.
I'd say most people tend to be receptive to it, but I know that I've definitely ruffled some feathers too
Yeah.
because like there are certain circles like I'll bring like some of them don't care how edgy you are, and there are others that I'm in that like it's been brought to my attention through the grapevine that like, oh yeah, that one didn't really land well, man. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, that probably wasn't the audience for it. Like I'm still gonna stand by my joke, but it's like
For
I'm
sure.
not. It's like I don't care. Like, so I made it. So I made an ACAB joke about
Mm.
domestic violence. I stand by it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I stand by it. I'm not going to tell it here, but
Right,
but I
obviously.
stand by it because fuck them. You know.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great attitude. Have
Yeah.
you seen Fart the movie? Either of the Fart the movies. There's two different ones.
There's two farts. The movie. What?
Yeah, one's a horror, and the other is, I think, more of a comedy.
No. Okay. I had not. I hadn't even heard of them.
Yeah, they're
I had
terrible.
my son. I bet. Oh, I bet they are.
Yeah.
I had my I had my son look it up on the way over because I was like, "You ever hear Fart the movie?" A
Hmm.
guy I think might want to bring it up later today, and he's showing me the poster, and he's like, "Everything about it's just so weird and off-putting." It's like this guy's grin is weird and very Gremlin-esque, and the subtitle is like, or like the blurb on it is like, "It's the movie they said could never be made," and
Right.
I'm thinking. Who's they? I never even heard of this.
Right.
Someone went and made it. I've never heard of somebody like I can't believe there's a boardroom of people and someone's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I got an idea about a movie about farts," and they're like, "You can't do it. You cannot make it." Like this isn't like I've only heard people talk about an unmakeable movie when it comes to like adapting Dune or Alan Moore's Watchmen or
Right.
some shit. And
For
he,
sure.
so here we have Dune, Watchmen, Fart the movie, three movies that they said couldn't be made, and then, by God, someone made it.
Right. Yeah, they're awful. I think the horror one, if I'm not mistaken it for a different movie, is actually a Japanese horror film, and it's just like shit all the time. It's really
Now,
gross.
I'm guessing it's like the kind of funny where like it knows it's not funny, but it's still trying to lean into how
Yes,
stupid it knows it is.
exactly. Yeah, it's self aware for sure.
Okay,
I mean, how could you not be? um,
right. No,
w-
I get you kind of have to like on that note. I will say since like and this is more closely related to because farts are adjacent to poop.
right.
But as far as poops, yeah. It's funny. I keep like so I'm friends on social media with this guy. He's the writer, actor, director of the Death Toilet movie series.
Okay.
We got acquainted through some other people at one of the expos I did, and we've been trying like hell to try to schedule an interview. It just hasn't worked
Hmm.
out. But like we're still in touch. But it's like, it's kind of that same vein. It's like this horror movie about a killer toilet.
Hmm.
It knows what it is, and for what it's worth, it's by far, I think, the best movie series about a killer toilet ever made. So
Nice. That ringing endorsement for sure. I'm gonna have to check that out.
sure.
What are your thoughts on boofing?
I don't know. You do you.
There you go. Perfect. So I was, I think I forgot how I stumbled across it when doing the research for this, but I guess the Mayans had like ancient boofing psychedelic
Really?
rituals. Yeah.
Huh.
They were used for both medical and for like vision quests or whatever. So you might want to
And
get an ancient Mayan on sometime.
yes, maybe I'll make a pilgrimage back to my mission land there. Get in touch with so I have to wonder because like these days we can like okay we know about boofing because we hear
Mhm.
about it in our like, excuse me, we hear about it among our grade school peers. We
Right.
can look it up on the internet. How did ancient Maya stumble on that?
Right. Right. I mean, it had to been through like trial and error, some sort of experimentation.
Did someone like accidentally like land ass first on a poison frog or something?
Yeah, right. One in a million shot, right?
And he was
Yeah.
just like, you don't get it. Like I saw Quetzalcoatl or like insert your Mayan god
Right.
here.
That actually makes me think that like just in general, how did human beings discover most things? Like we always say like the word guinea pig or lab rat, but surely for the most of human existence, we experimented with dogs first, right? Like here, have the dog eat the mushroom, see if it's edible, right? Right?
Sure.
I would assume. Um,
Yeah. Or the least liked guy in the party. Like I don't know. See if Greg wants those berries.
right.
See
Yeah.
what or whatever.
That- That's a good point. Yeah, poor Greg.
Right?
So what would be the best music to poop to? Do you have a preference?
I mean, I'm not usually listening to music. Usually, I'm just watching something on
Right.
YouTube, I guess. But if we're gonna talk the music route, I don't know. I mean, have a playlist out. Depends on the vibe you're going for. Okay, um, you know, are you going for something serene? Then like maybe some Enya. Maybe like what comes to my mind right now is like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I'm probably gonna have fun with it. I'm thinking Andrew WK's "It's Time to Party."
There you go.
Um,
Nice.
that sounds like a good one. Maybe you're a movie aficionado. Depending on the severity of what you're putting out, maybe you need to throw on the Exorcist soundtrack,
Ooh, that's
or
good. Yeah.
yeah, maybe maybe you're like having some regrets. You think you're going to see God soon. Maybe a little nearer, my God, to thee. Titanic style, going
Yeah.
down with that ship.
I
So
I was thinking Slipknot, surfacing.
whatever your vibe is, yeah. Maybe I'm getting playful with it. And I'm playing like I don't know the Space Jam soundtrack, trying
There
to
you
like
go. Yeah.
I set up a little toy basketball hoop or something. See if I can score a 3-pointer from downtown.
From Browntown.
From downtown, love it.
Well, speaking of movies that don't hold up, I tried to watch Space Jam like not that long ago. I was like, what is? It's
Yeah,
so sad. It's just so dark. Like there's just like a dark
yeah.
vibe to that movie.
That's what I'd have to check out again. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll hold up. On a note of movies that do hold up, well, I
Hmm.
still remember a few years back I wondered, hey, I wonder if Tremors holds up, and it does. In fact, I like it
Mm,
more now
for sure.
than than when I first watched it at like age 12 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen it off of like being on network television.
Like always with commercials and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Is Kevin
Mm.
Bacon in the first one?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I have to get into that. I've been binging horror movies for like years now. Um, your thoughts on the Shiza kink,
Shiza
popularized
King.
by German pornography, where people like to get pooped on, which I assume is
Yeah,
thousands of years old.
probably. Okay, so I don't really have an opinion on it because it's let's just say not for me.
Mm,
But like, and that's even a more nuanced approach than I would have taken because again, like little Mormon boy here would have thought no, like any weird, like anything outside of just plain vanilla man and woman,
right.
missionary is ungodly, and now it's like we're in a culture where it's like let's not kink shame, but also I'm like, but that's shit. So
Mm,
I want to. I don't know. Is there a safe way to do that? I don't know. That seems
right.
unsafe and unsanitary. That seems like an infection risk there, but
Good point. Yeah,
I don't know. I have concerns, and I'm not gonna deal with it. Like let the Shiza folk
for sure.
deal with it,
Let
deal
them
with
have
it
their
on
own
their own.
bathrooms. I mean, what do you think
Yeah.
would possess somebody to want to get defecated on? You think it comes from trauma or like a genuine appreciation of fecal matter? Like, how is
God.
that
Okay.
sexy?
I don't know. I have a couple of theories to work on, and like one of them like so like there's who is it? It's who was it? I think it was Adam from Your Movie Sucks was talking about. I
Mm.
think if I remember correctly, I think he's like an open furry about stuff, and his theory was, I think when you start to develop sexually, if other things enter the fray, if like they kind of cross the streams, I think that's where you get stuff like that. So like if you're starting to, like if you're a, just a heterosexual boy entering puberty, and you're
Hmm.
starting to like women, and then speaking of Space Jam, you see Lola Bunny, then you think, okay,
Right,
yeah, maybe I got a thing for bunnies now. I don't know.
right, right.
I don't know. That's his theory. And until I hear a better one, I guess I'll go with something like that. On a similar note, too, my wife, who, as I mentioned, is also a therapist, she was
Mm,
taking a class. I was not present for this one, but she was in another class in our undergrad
mm.
where they had like they observed a study, watched a video of this guy who actually developed a fetish for doorknobs, and his reasoning, like the way it developed for him, was because when he'd be cranking it in like his bedroom or in the bathroom or whatever,
Yeah.
he had to like the door didn't have a lock on it, so he's holding the doorknob shut, and the association somehow
Huh.
got him to be turned on by doorknobs. And I'm not going to judge the guy, but I'm just not
Sure.
going to go into a hardware store with him ever because that seems like an unfortunate experience. I don't want to be there for that.
Stay out of that aisle in Home Depot for sure. So would that be operant conditioning or
Uh,
classical conditioning? I guess neither, right? Because it's self. It'd be operant conditioning, right?
I don't know, man. Like I'm in vacation mode right now.
Okay, okay, I'll stop.
I'm taking the next week off, and I've already had my last session of like the day today, and I'm like, I'm on
Okay, okay, I'll
vacation
stop with the
really.
psychology questions. So
It's a good question. I should know the answer to that.
yeah,
You got me with my pants down there. I should know the
no,
answer to that.
no problem. Well, just real quick. So I used to have a roommate who a homosexual man who I don't really remember how this conversation came up, but he said that when he was a kid, he knew that he was gay because, and this sounds like a joke, but it's not. It's because how much he enjoyed pooping, and he just said that he loves pooping, and that's how he knew he was homosexual. And I don't know. I feel like that's somehow relevant to what we're talking about.
Maybe it sounds very Freudian because I know that he
Right.
talked about like because that's where we get the term like why are you so anal about that? Because it comes from the term
Right.
anal retentive, which was him saying, yeah, you get pleasure from holding your poop in, and like
Oh.
it's funny because well it's funny how the I think a lot of what was going on with Freud was he clearly had his own stuff going on, and
Yeah.
then he's like this is everybody, right?
Right.
It's kind of like he's just like because like I mean to Freud's credit because like the
Right.
guy gets a lot of shit these days
He does. Yeah.
and most of it rightly so. But to his credit, what he basically popularized was the idea of, hey, you guys, you know what? I think, call me out if I'm wrong here. I think the fucked up shit from our past is why we're so cranky now.
Right. Right.
And people are like, okay, man, yeah. What else you got? And he's like, also, all of our moms are really hot, and we want to fuck
Right.
them all the time, right? And they're like, okay, maybe tone it down. So,
For sure.
and so he did at least help other people come out of the woodwork to say,
Yeah.
okay, maybe not that, but maybe the other stuff.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Are you into camping?
I'm I'm indifferent to camping, and my wife hates camping, so I hate camping.
Okay. Gotcha. I was gonna ask about like outdoor poop events.
No, I mean like back in yeah poop, events. What
You
like
know,
a
situations,
gathering? Like okay, so, okay. Occurrences. Got it. Okay, you say
occurrences.
event, and I'm thinking like what like a music festival or something or.
Right. Well, I wanted to ask if you've come across like a poop community, like you know the way there are furries or like people into anime. Like, are there people super into poop? I mean, other than Shiza people.
I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah.
I have not bumped into them. I
Right.
haven't encountered anyone that's like, hey, I just want to rub poop all over my good bits, and I'm like,
Right.
leave me alone. Like that hasn't happened yet. If that's what you're asking, it's like it's mostly like I think people know what we're about here, and it's no, we want to talk about again as our subtitle implies the misfortunes. You know, we want to talk
Right.
about the times where it really didn't go the way we wanted it
Sure.
to.
Sure. For sure. That's where the humor is. For sure. Have you ever thought about getting a proctologist on?
uh, We, I mean, I wouldn't say it hasn't occurred. I don't think it may have at some point. Who's to say?
Right.
But I certainly wouldn't say no to it because I'm sure it would be funny. Um, yeah, I'm sure a doctor would have stories.
Yeah. We've got to. I mean.
It's got it, right? Um, on that note, we did have a recent episode that was maybe you've seen it for those who check it out. A somewhat recent episode where we interviewed a bunch of the pro wrestling talent of the local Devotion Championship Wrestling outfit here.
Oh, cool.
This one guy talked about how he basically shat blood all over his doctor and the nurse
Oh, wow.
because like he had digestive problems and he's like poking around there like okay let's see what happens and then just like you know that yeah the way he described it he said that there's even like a slight outline on the wall because it just splattered all over like imagine you know that one gag in Mr. Bean where he puts a stick of dynamite in a paint can to paint his whole room
Sure.
and there's an outline of a guy who just happened to be in the room at the same time unfortunately
Okay.
kind of like that but with
Yeah.
ass blood yeah
Damn.
so we didn't have the doctor to talk about it we had the patient but yeah I would not say no to having a proctologist on that's there's got to be something funny I mean like we had the EMT on who had
Right.
she had her own fair share of funny stories too so yeah I'm sure other I'll also say quickly aside we haven't had any nurses on but I've had a number of people that I bumped into or nurses, either people I work with at the psychiatric office I'm at,
Yeah.
or like other comedians and whatnot. people that will say like I'm a nurse or I'm a CNA or
Mm,
whatever. I've got stories, and then we just logistically aren't able to work it out. So yeah,
right.
medical professionals, they got stories.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely want to listen to that one with the EMT. That sounds honestly oddly fascinating. I mean,
Yeah.
and traumatizing, especially for her. What was I going to ask? How long have you been doing the podcast for?
Um, I want to say we've been airing it. I think this February, maybe this March will be that we've been doing it for 2 years.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
How did you start? I mean, like, for instance, I started with like a cokehead and a comedian in a different state, and they quickly were no
Okay.
longer a part of the podcast. And I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how much work actually goes into making this type
Sure.
of content.
Started with ourselves and then asking other friends and acquaintances who'd be willing to,
Yeah,
kind of help us prime the pumps. Excuse me, sorry, just
no
had
problem.
lunch. To kind of help us prime the pump, so to speak, to kind of get things going. And then people, and I'd imagine a follow up question you have is, okay, where do you get your guests from? And it's kind of, and so from there, it was like, some friends and acquaintances and whatnot, people who are willing to share. Um, the podcast guest exchange subreddit has been pretty
Oh,
helpful for that as well.
okay.
People saying like, I want to guest on something. Who's got something that they want to share? And I just say, hey, we got a poop podcast,
Yeah,
and then sometimes it's like mutuals that online, other people that are funny, other local comedians, Pinky being one of them. We have a couple other comedian friends in here that did recordings with us. So
okay.
we're not hurting for content right now, mainly because we release bi-weekly because I
Mm,
cannot I tried doing weekly. I just don't have the
right.
the juice to do that.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot. I'm only able to, 'cause like I said, my son's autistic, so I'm his caregiver. So it allows me
Mhm.
time to go to school and work on the podcast, thankfully.
Sure.
But and that boy poops. Let me tell you, it's. So he's 8 years old now, soon to be 9. But when his mother was still around, she insisted on cloth diapers.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you guys dealt with that when your child was young, but it was disgusting. Um,
We didn't. I know that. So I'm
yeah,
the oldest of three. I know that like we had some cloth diapers around for my
yeah.
youngest sister, who's 6 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
And like I think we just had them around like in case the
Oh,
Pampers ran out,
oh, okay.
basically. So and of course, being a 6-year-old, I wasn't exactly leading the charge on
Right, for sure.
on taking care of her. But yeah, it looks miserable. They just,
Eh,
I gotta imagine. I have to imagine it's a nightmare.
It was pretty gross. Yeah, we did it for like 2 years until I was just like, this is enough. Like, no, no more. And we had to buy like a separate washing machine, like a portable washing machine, just for those diapers.
Oh wow.
So I mean, it's a good way to save money, but is disgusting. And then air drying them out like in front of our apartment door. It's no fun.
No,
But
you mentioned saving money too, but like I don't know if it's true, but like I
right.
heard I have some friends that like when they were considering, because they're the type to kind of go granola on this sort of stuff,
Hmm.
and they were like looking at the research and they're like actually it shows that if you factor in the time, the effort, the money, the
Right.
detergent, electric bills and water
Sure.
bills and whatnot, it comes out to roughly the same apparently.
Makes
I
sense.
think.
Yeah. And the microfibers that go into the system from like the covers or whatever. I could
Yeah.
see that being damaging. Yeah.
So
Okay. Well.
maybe, so yeah, so don't think, I mean, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert on this, but that's what I've heard second, third hand.
Sure. Yeah. His mother was a hippie. Um, I didn't exactly write this sentence out the way I wanted to, but I'm gonna say it now. Have you ever been so mad that you wanted to shit?
Uh, I'm going to say probably. Can't say I've actually crossed that threshold though.
Yeah.
Of like,
Or like an emotional event that like affected your bowels.
no, but I remember saying something to the effect of, I remember I made a post online around the time, like within a year or so of Pixar's Inside Out coming out, and I trust me when I say that I would have held myself to this. I said something like, "If Pixar doesn't get Best Animated Flick in the Oscars, I will rage shit my pants."
Nice.
Fortunately, they won.
Hilarious.
Inside Out won. So, and I remember thinking, like, God damn it, like, I'm the kind of person that, like, if I have to eat crow, I'm doing it with my mouth open. I will chew with my mouth. Like, I will make sure everyone knows. Yep, I fucked up everybody. Okay, so
Yeah.
I would have made an ordeal out of it.
That's hilarious. What is Inside Out about?
It's the one with the one young girl, and like we see inside her head all the different emotions that are like each
Oh.
one's a different little character.
Oh, like
Are you-
Herman's head?
It's it's funny. I'd never heard of Herman's Head until I had another client who told me, "Oh,
Oh,
kind of
really?
like Herman's Head," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I think there must have been some.
It was early
Uh,
90s. It only lasted like a few episodes, I think. But I loved it when I was a kid.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you tell me you're not familiar with this here?
Oh, okay, yeah. I recognize the main character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I haven't watched that. I should though.
Absolutely, yeah. It's not just you know enjoyable as as a piece of entertainment, but like they actually consulted with psychologists and whatnot to
Oh,
kind
cool.
of. And it's like it's been I don't work with children and adolescents much these days, but
Yeah.
I mean even when I did, I used to work at a school, and I occasionally work with an adolescent, and frankly, this also works with adults too.
Yeah.
To like spoilers for those who haven't seen this movie that's over 10 years old at this point,
Oh,
but
wow.
the good guy is sadness,
Oh,
or the hero. I mean to say the hero is sadness because
okay.
yeah, because the movie does a very good job of trying to point out you are supposed to feel certain emotions at certain times.
Right.
You can't just you know because the other main character is Joy, and she's basically trying to go through a stressful time by just making everybody happy throughout the whole thing, just using that toxic positivity. You have to happy your way out of everything, and it's like no, but there are times where happiness is not the appropriate emotion.
Right.
Absolutely. And that's a huge part of what I teach my clients too, coming in, not just teaching them you know how to get in touch with your emotions and how to express them in healthy ways, but a huge component of that includes giving yourself permission
Right.
to feel what you're going to feel, because you your emotions, like not only are they just normal and typical and natural, but it's the idea that all emotions are allowed but not all behaviors.
Right. For sure.
And
Oh, yeah.
my go-to example to emphasize that to people is I'll tell them, like, what's your favorite food, and they might tell me lo mein noodles, and I'll say, okay, so imagine Sarah, okay, like you're eating lo mein noodles, and I say stop eating them,
Hmm.
and you can put the chopsticks down and you can stop eating. But if I come in and say stop enjoying them, you're not just going to suddenly go, oh wait, never mind, yeah, I hate this, never mind, and push
Right.
it away, disgust it. That's not how. Yeah, that's the difference between
Interesting.
behavior and emotions, and that's why it's important to understand, like, however you feel, it's fine to feel it as long as the, your behaviors and your actions are healthy and safe for you and those around you.
Interesting.
So, and Inside Out
So,
help convey that.
yeah, no, I like that. So, what would be an unhealthy way to poop?
Without
You know what?
a
So scratch that. So you know how the squatty potty is supposed to be better for pooping?
oh yeah,
Is that true?
yeah, oh absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a couple in our house here. Yeah, it's like I've even done my own little like field experiments, and it's like yeah, it comes out so
Yeah,
much easier. It
for
does,
sure.
because that's why in other nations they have the squatting style way of toileting instead of
Oh,
sitting. Yeah,
like in Asia, like the where you
yeah,
squat over the hole or whatever. How do you not
yeah.
poop into your pants?
That's a good question.
Right?
I don't know. I mean, that's why I got the stool. That's why I got the squatty
Right.
potty for
Yeah,
that. 'Cause
for sure.
yeah, I can sit on my Western style toilet and
Hmm.
knees up, and yeah, it just comes out easier, plain and simple.
Wait.
And
So yeah, no. The term Western style toilet. What's the difference between that and like a not Western style toilet? Oh, you mean just oh, you
meaning,
mean West? I don't know why I thought that. Okay, sorry, I had a brain fart. Um,
Go ahead and make a movie about it, in a horror movie in Japan.
Yeah, all right. The
Put your parts
comedian
there,
Ari
yeah.
Shafir has a great like 15-minute story. It's on YouTube on his This Is Not Happening show.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Ari Shafir?
A bit, not hugely, but I'm
Yeah,
you know, like,
it's called Asian Shit Squat Toilet is the name of the story on his This Is Not Happening show that he had like 15 years ago. I actually saw Ari Shafir take a shit on stage at Kill Tony at Skankfest last year.
what the hell? What?
Yeah, I was like 10 feet from the stage. He got completely naked. He pissed in two different containers, and then a half or basically naked woman came out, laid down a piece of cardboard that had like a trash bag tape around it, and he shit
Okay.
onto that, and then he pulled a piece of paper out of his ass that had the name of his new Netflix special. And that was his way of telling the world that he had a new Netflix special coming out. And then he wiped his ass with some tissue and he threw it into the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So don't do
not
that.
a show. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go to that show. And
Yeah.
I was not sure where you were going with that when you're talking about. And then he pulled out. My mind immediately went to like the Queen of Spades. Like, is this your card?
I wish. No, it was like a neatly folded piece of paper. Um, so you're into punk rock, I'm assuming by your sweater.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So we got to
I
talk
mean,
about.
it's practically state law. Massachusetts state law that I have to like this band. So
Is it? Are they really popular in Utah? Oh, Massachusetts.
No, I mean,
In Massachusetts,
yeah,
right?
it's
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Are you from the Boston area?
No, I'm from more. It's funny. So where I grew up is it's kind of right in between Boston and Worcester.
Oh, okay.
So it's like it's right on the very edges of what they would call the Metro West area, but it's also like practically Worcester County. So
Oh, okay. I mean, so much good music has come out of Massachusetts. Are you a
Yeah.
big Pixies fan?
I wouldn't say huge fan, but I mean I like them. Yes, I like
Yeah,
them. I
for
wouldn't. Yeah. But if you were to be like name this, name if you try to do the old like name three songs thing, I don't know. I'll stop.
For sure. For sure. So I know. So you don't really have that accent, infamous to the
Yeah.
area. Is that like overdone in media or?
Short answer, yes, but also it's a few factors. Is that one is it's mostly in the Boston area that you're going to get that,
Oh, okay.
and then it also is kind of phasing out with, with each generation more or less, just as we become more globalized as a community.
Right.
But also, as I mentioned, my father was from Missouri and my mother was from
Right.
Boise, so like everything
Oh.
just kind of nulled itself out.
Right.
Basic.
Right.
Like
Okay.
occasionally, I'll say a word that like does not fit the accent of most other places. Like if I want to talk about my dad's sister, I'll say my aunt, and then of course,
Right,
like my
aunt.
wife will give me shit and be like, "Oh, aunt," like, "Oh, fancy boy here, pinky out," all that shit. And it's like, okay, fine, whatever, give me shit for it, I don't care.
For sure.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah. On that note, though, like, I don't know how true this is. This is just anecdotal, but like when I was first out of college, I was a case manager out there, and I had a guy that also commented asking like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "Here, literally here."
Right.
Really, you don't have an accent. I know. And then he said, if I had to guess, I would have thought Nebraska.
Really?
I of course asked him why. Why Nebraska? And he said he goes on to tell me that he went to college for communications with an emphasis in TV journalism.
Okay.
And he said in his program, they taught people to try to speak with a Nebraska accent because of how neutral it is as an accent. That
Really?
way, you increase your chances of being able to get a journalism job for a TV station all around the country, because you can bet it's going to be out of place to have somebody with a Texas accent working in New York and somebody with like a Cincinnati accent working in, I don't know, LA or something,
Interesting.
So Nebraska apparently is like the no American accent, according to what this guy told me about communication school.
That's very interesting, because I thought for a long time that like with the influence of TV and movies, with everybody sort of having like the same way of speaking, that Americans are kind of losing their regional dialects or accents.
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of it too.
Yeah. That's Nebraska, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
Who
Never
lives in
been.
Nebraska? I mean, like, no hate on Nebraska, but like, how many people do you think live in Nebraska? Like,
I don't know, man. Like, but
Yeah.
apparently I could, according to my former client there, I could pass as a local, no problem.
Yeah,
As
right.
long as
Interesting.
as long as I'm not wearing, my colors here.
For sure, your colors. Yeah. So yeah, I brought up punk rock, and we'll wrap up soon here. Since you host the Oh Crap podcast, um, Gigi Allen,
Mhm.
the god of punk rock, known for defecating on stage, rubbing it on himself, attacking people with it. Is he like an icon
Yeah.
for you, or?
I'm going to say short answer no, but as you mentioned it, it's like, yeah, I actually that should be a point of topic or something that we bring
Mhm,
up
for sure.
at some point. I've been trying to like, get enough. I've been trying to do more short form stuff because I know that I think probably one of the bigger things that's difficult for people to get us some traction
Yeah.
is because let me back up a bit and say a lot of people when they find out about this like it and they're like, this is a great idea.
Hmm.
And we've had plenty of people tell us that we both are really good at bringing the funny
Right. Right.
and making it an inviting place for people. And it's like, well, then why don't we quite have the listenership we're looking for? I'd like
Right.
to see it increase. And I think a huge part of that is that we need to do more short form content because I think it is a big ask to say, hey, you have 45 plus minutes to listen to poop stories.
Right.
That's, you know, just trust me, it's funny. That's a hard to, but if we can do like more bite-sized stuff, like, hey, like if I do like a little like TikTok video of like, hey, this is Gigi Allen.
Hmm.
This guy loved poop, or like this is
Yeah.
what a poop knife is. So this is what. So I should definitely add that to the the list
Yeah,
of
I mean
ideas.
that is the way things are for sure. I mean, look, I don't know if you look at your like analytics on Instagram. Like, there's like the 3 second rule, right? Like most people
Mhm.
don't watch a reel past 3 seconds, and if it goes past that 3 seconds, it's considered like more successful of reach or whatever.
I believe it. I had one video. It literally had us like I think triple our
Yeah.
followership
Wow.
over the course of like 2 or 3 days. That video got taken down. It was this dude who was, yeah. It's not even my video. I got it off Reddit somewhere.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
because it got like, what was it? Like it tripled our viewership or followership, and
Wow.
then like I think it had like 3 million views and like
Oh.
20,000 plus likes or something.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is more than anything I've ever had, and I probably will never replicate this again
Yeah.
because it was this video of a guy. He's like, he starts off on the can, and then he gets down, and all you see is like just like the silhouette of his buns up in the air.
Yeah.
And apparently he pushes pretty mighty there, launches this turd, makes a 3 pointer just right into the bowl from there, like from the floor. So he's face down, ass up, and then he just whoop, just swish right into there.
Switch. Do you have a post of that on the Instagram where it's like censored? The
I
poop coming out
have
of his butt?
I I have a photo, like a screenshot that's captioned,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
basically saying like, "Hey, it got taken down, but thanks for joining us while the ride was wild, and I hope
Right.
I hope you stick around for our real purpose. We're not a video,
Right.
uh, but we're about the podcast, You might be. I'm guessing you're interested in seeing it. If I can find it here, I'll.
Sure, sure. I think I saw it yesterday when I was going like one at a time through each post and stuff to come up with the questions. Um
Sure.
so before my last question here, would you like to tell people where they can find the podcast and how to follow and stuff?
Yeah, I'd say that. So the social platform we're most active on is Instagram, which is I'd say the best place for announcements and other little memes and just literal shit posts that I'll put on there. So that's at O_crap_podcast. And even on then, we've got a link to our link tree, and that has all the platforms we're on. So whatever you listen to podcasts on, we're probably on there. So Spotify, iHeart, Apple.
Okay, for
Um,
sure.
Trying to put some more short form stuff on Instagram and YouTube as well.
Okay, nice. Okay, yeah. Everybody, please follow Mike Sherman and his partner on the Old Crap podcast. Sorry. Here's my last question. Would you rather take a shit at Burning Man or the Gathering of the Juggalos?
Uh, Probably Juggalos.
Nice.
Probably.
Okay.
They just I don't they just tend to be like I know they got the reputation and all that, but like with my scant interactions with them, they tend to be a bit more down to earth, and
Yeah.
also I don't have to like. How far out of civilization is Burning Man?
It's in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of a dried up
Yeah,
lake bed.
yeah. God no, no. That's yeah. I told
Yeah.
you I'm not a camper, so
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Right, good point.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I usually leave the part off of that question, and the majority of people way more respect for juggalos and for burners, like by a lot. It's pretty crazy actually. So I'll just leave you with this little fun fact. I
sure.
googled suicide by poop because I wanted to know if there was anything like that out there, and it gave me the
Okay.
number for the suicide hotline. Right.
Of course you did.
So I got more specific. I think I wrote like suicide by poop in history or something, and it said while there's no specific like documentation of somebody committing suicide with poop, there was an incident in 1184 called the Erfurt latrine disaster, where 60 noblemen were gathered for whatever fucking bullshit reason, and the floor collapsed underneath them, and they all fell into a cesspit and died.
Okay. Hey, could you recap that one more? Just yeah, what was that again?
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I guess this is good. I need little tidbits for the short form content.
Sure.
Where
Yeah. 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 No, I'd love to share. Erfurt, Erfurt, latrine disaster,
the latrine disaster. Oh,
1184. 60 noblemen were gathered, and the floor collapsed from underneath them, and they all fell into a cesspit and died.
damn. Okay.
That's
You know,
fucked
it's
up,
funny because
right?
as soon as you started talking medieval stuff, I was going to say, oh yeah, like didn't they like wasn't infection a big issue there? Like, wouldn't they
Oh,
like dip
right.
their arrows or their swords in poop or something to like
Yeah, that's
turn
a
them
good point.
into infection hazards or something?
No, these
I
guys
could be
died in
wrong.
shit.
Yeah.
60 of them. That must have been a
All
like
right.
the
Here,
repercussions must have been crazy.
I can imagine. Okay, yeah, I don't know what. So this got taken down. I'm guessing it got reported, and it's like, man, fuck you, Zach. All right. Here's the video.
Oh, okay. Oh god.
Who
Oh
did
my
that?
god. Eddie, censor that, please.
Not
Oh
you
my.
too.
I wasn't expecting for it to be so big.
You're like, I
How is
expected the
that
size of my thumb,
possible?
not my forearm.
I mean, that's projectile. How do you think he
Dude,
took multiple takes? Or was that just like a
I
one and done?
I have no idea. There's even people saying it's AI, but I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't have that
It
AI
doesn't.
like vibe to it. I don't think so.
And it was so
Yeah,
dark. It looked like a wine
that,
poop. You know how you drink wine and then it's all dark the next day?
hell, it could have been. I don't know, man. Like that dude was packing a lot of powder in that cannon. You know.
Powder in that cannon. That would be a good name for the episode right there. Okay. Well, thank you, Mike, so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. This has
But
been a blast,
yeah,
man. Um, Everybody, please follow the Crap podcast. I'm sorry, could you repeat the tag?
yeah. So yeah, oh crap, our fecal misfortunes and foibles, and it is the one. God damn it, where is it? All right, I'm trying to find. Just this. Oh, I have stickers right here.
Have you thought
It's
about writing a
no,
book?
we actually have thought. Yeah, so make sure you find
Nice.
the one with this cute little toilet guy here.
Okay, for sure.
We actually thought about like, what if we did like a coffee table book or something of like,
That'd be cool.
like a kid's story. Like my wife thought of something of like a poo's journey, like what happens when you poop and where it goes through like the treatment plant. What happens when or like if we were to do like a graphic novel or like a kiddie book version of some of the stories that people have told or something. You
Right,
know.
right. Yeah, I think it would do well. It sounds quite enjoyable, actually. Okay, this has been Let's Ruin Our Lives. I'm Josh Hensley. Please subscribe on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you people. And mahalo.
I know, but I'd rather be blind in heaven than sighted in hell.
tongue to play a simple vice. You need to learn to live without your being nice. Start your own trend.